Hi guys, it's me Glamorous Girl 1111 bringing you a first impressions video. As you guys probably know, Revlon has released a new foundation called Nearly Naked, and I'll just read you what it says on the bottle. Makeup. I have the color 120 Vanilla. This is the second color over with yellow undertones. The first color is Ivory, and that's way too pink for my skin. I definitely like a yellow foundation because with my new red hair and the color of my neck is more yellow, even though my face is more pink, so I always try and go with the yellow. So that's basically how I like my foundations. Now, in comparison to the Revlon Color Stay, the bottles are very similar. It has a white cap, which is nice. It's square. So this one has a black cap and it's round, as you can see. They both contain 1 fluid ounce. This one has, the Revlon Color Stay has SPF 15, and the Nearly Naked has SPF 20. So this is more of a tinted moisturizer, wear during the day sort of foundation. Because I have pretty clear skin, I go for color correction when I buy a foundation, and something that's going to look natural on the skin. I really like NARS Sheer Glow, and I do actually like the Urban Decay Naked Skin. So this may be a dupe for it. I'll let you know once I put it on my face. I'm a little torn about which tool to use to apply this foundation with. I don't want to use a sponge with this foundation because it already is a thin foundation, I know that. So I would have to apply many layers to get the best coverage. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you it with the flat top kabuki brush. Before this video started and I did all this talking, I applied my Yes to Cucumbers Soothing Daily Calm Moisturizer. This is my daily moisturizer, so it's nothing new. I like this moisturizer for the daytime because it doesn't leave that much residue on the skin, which is why I thought it would be good for this video. And I'll let you know what I think, because sometimes I have dry skin, so sometimes I have to apply a much thicker cream under foundations such as Revlon Color Stay, because they are not as moisturizing and they can look cakey on my face. So I'm going to get my brush. So if you're not familiar with the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80 brush, then you must live underneath a YouTube rock, because I know everyone and their mama has this brush. So I'm going to use this one. I recently got it for Christmas, but honestly, if you're a hands person, it all depends on your technique of how you want to apply this. So I'm going to open it up. Also, what's really helpful about this is if you go on the Revlon website, they will help you find your good shade. It's not as useful as the Urban Decay Naked Skin Shade Finder, but it's very, very useful. So I'm going to put about this much on my hand, and I'm actually going to take you guys a little bit closer, because we're friends like that. Okay, so now that we have that, here's what the foundation looks like. My hands are the whitest part of my body, so that's why the foundation looks a little bit dark. And it is going to look yellow on my skin, because that's how I like my foundations. Because I really just want redness, and my neck is more yellow toned. So far, this is applying very nicely. It feels very cool and natural on the skin. It's not like when you apply some foundations and it feels like you're wearing a mask. If you guys know what I'm talking about. I am going to check in with you guys later during the day, because I am staying home all day today. But usually the only thing that happens with foundations that don't wear right on my skin is right in here, this area. As you can see, it's very streaky right now. It settles into my pores, so I have to make sure it does not do that. And I'm out of focus. Okay. So with wet foundations, I find that what works the best is just keep working them in. As you saw, it's very streaky right now, but the more you blend and the more the liquidy part blends into your skin, it really does start to become streak free. And I'm just going to apply almost all of what was on my hand until I see minimal redness on this jawbone area, because that's where I have too much redness. And my brother and my dad are taking down our Christmas lights, so okay, so this is the foundation with the brush. It's pretty much dry feeling now, but I cannot get all the streaks out with the brush. And, you know, I just got this brush. I'm not really sure how to use it yet. I'm going to show you how it looks on the skin, which is, you can see all my little pores. So I'm going to use my finishing edge sponge, which I prefer over the Beauty Blender. And I'm just going to shear it out in the places where it settles and it's streaky, and just make it look really natural. So far the color match is excellent. As you can see, it really does look like my skin. It has a healthy glow to it. I may have applied a little bit much, and that's what happens with brushes. You can get a little bit carried away. But this is just a first impressions video, so. Now in the viewfinder it looks great, but I'm going to check in a mirror, make sure there aren't any additional streaks. And if you hear background noise, my brother and my dad are taking down Christmas lights. So let's talk a little bit about it and then we'll fix it. The coverage is not light. It is not like a tinted moisturizer. However, it does look quite natural on the skin, and I really like this foundation. The packaging is alright, like normal Revlon. I do wish that it came with a pump, but I love the foundation formula so much that it doesn't really rub me the wrong way too bad. So I'm going to show you the packaging up close. I picked mine up at Rite Aid. I don't know exactly how much it was, but I know it was like in the $10 zone, but my family has a Wellness Plus card, and if you know anything about Rite Aid, it's basically you get discounts for using your card, and so I probably got mine for around $8. So far, I really like this foundation. It looks natural on the skin, but yet I'm definitely getting coverage. I'm definitely getting color correction. I'm going to zoom you in. It may have been the way I applied it, but it's a little bit cakey in some spots, and on the sides of my nose it's actually building up in a dry patch, so I'm just going to zoom you in. If you could see, it looks very dry right here, and actually my whole nose looks relatively dry. Usually I get cakiness on my upper lip, but it's not too bad with this foundation. And overall, I would give this foundation for a drugstore foundation 10 out of 10. Because honestly, I have dry skin, so the only problems I'm seeing right now are because of dryness. And so I'm just going to take a little bit of lotion and rub that on the sides of my nose, and that should actually fix the problem. So we're just going to, and normally if I wasn't out of Fix Plus, I would just spray some Fix Plus on by MAC, because that really does hydrate the skin. And right here I always get filled up because you have fine hairs some places on your face, and so for me lotion is a really good way to get rid of those. The coverage isn't amazing, but it did help eliminate some of the redness, although I still think it looks really natural and like skin. So I'm gonna powder half my face, and I'm gonna check in with you guys throughout the day. So I'll put it in me powdering my face, and then I'll show you another close-up, and then I'll check in with you guys like 3, 4, 5 hours later, and then I'll tell you if my rating still stands with the 10 to 10 or what I really think about this foundation. But so far it's really impressing me. Like, first impressions, I'm really impressed. Okay, so I am going to apply a little bit of concealer. I don't think I need it. I've been very well rested lately, and the foundation actually did cover underneath there, but I'm going to use my Lancôme concealer that comes with the cream as well as the concealer on top. And this is more like a veil, very similar to the Bobbi Brown one from what I hear, but it's a little bit lighter. So I will do the rest of my makeup and check back with you guys. So I finished the rest of my makeup, and I just kept it really simple. I didn't contour anything, but I did apply blush and highlighter on my cheeks in this area. And of course I powdered my concealer on both sides. Now, sadly, I have not been able to locate my receipt from last night yet, but I will keep looking, and if I find it by the end of this video, I will tell you exactly how much I paid for it. But it's so new, it isn't even on the Rite Aid website yet. Considers cool and warm is very different from MAC. It's actually the opposite. If you are cooler toned, you have ivory, pink, or blue undertones. However, if you're warmer undertone, you have peach, yellow, or olive. So that is one thing to keep in mind. The packaging is a little bit different. It tells you just in English what it says, but on the bottle it has a lot more writing on it. It says, makeup so refreshingly light it melts right in, creating a fresh, even look. So only one that knows you're wearing makeup is you. Blends seamlessly and buildable coverage. I agree with all those things. Like, I can feel it on my skin right now, but that could be because of the lights. I have 2 umbrella lights shining on me right now, and both my windows are open, so it's a little bit toasty. So it is on the Target website, and it says $7.49, which is the online price. So it's about $7.50. So it's $102 right now, and I'll check in with you later. Bye, guys. It is currently almost 5 o'clock, and I just went and got myself a Starbucks, which is a mocha frappuccino. And I'm feeling a little sick because I drank the whole thing already. So I just wanted to show you how it looks. It feels great. Feels like nothing on the skin. It's not like when you wear certain foundations and you can feel it. The only thing I would say is it is sticky where I didn't set it with powder, but nothing too crazy. Let's see how my pores look. So you can't see my pores, but it really isn't filling in my pores, because it is a little bit, but that really from far away isn't that bad. Sometimes with the NARS Sheer Glow you can like see my blush has gone into my pores and everything else. That's my redness. It's pretty much covered. The sides of my nose are still kind of funky, but they're looking better. It's really like melted into my skin. It hasn't settled into any of my wrinkles. It feels like my skin. My skin when I have lotion on, and I can feel it. The only place I find it to be sticky is right here. So this is about the halfway point, and I will check in with you guys like 9 when I plan on taking it off, and I figure that will be 8 total hours of wear, and that's about what most foundations promise. It definitely is absorbing into my skin a little bit, which I like. It's becoming more like my skin. I think it looks really good. So far I'm really impressed, and I still stick with my 10 out of 10. And one more thing you guys might want to see is the transfer. If you're wondering if it transfers or not, I'm going to take this white sponge and show you. It is just a white sponge. And I'm going to wipe along my jawline, on my nose, and across my forehead very lightly. Obviously, if you peel it too much, it will come off. The transfer is very minimal. It definitely did transfer, but not as bad. So if you had a white shirt on and you pulled it over your head, you will probably get it a little bit dirty, such as this sponge. And I think when I first put it on, when you first put any foundation on, it's obviously going to transfer off. But now that it's set for a few hours and it's been set with powder on part of my face, I'm really not seeing that much transfer. Like, honestly, it's very minimal. So I'll check in with you guys in about 4 more hours. Bye. Okay, it is 8:40 and I am ready to be done for the day. I want to take this makeup off, edit all these videos, and put them up. So let's talk about this foundation. Let's do a transfer test. About the same as last time. This was this time. This was last time. And I'm still in love with this foundation. I do not notice a difference on the side of my face that I powdered and didn't powder. It all feels very skin-like. The only place I noticed was this side was sticky right here along my jawbone. So when I put my hand against it, it makes like a sticky sound. But, so when I go to school, I'm probably going to powder both my cheekbones because I do rest my hands on my face and such. I still agree, 10 out of 10 on this foundation. I'll put a little comment on this if for some reason one day I decide I hate this foundation. But I don't think that's going to happen. The color matches me great. It looks luminous on the skin. It looks healthy. Like, you can still see my skin through it. And this is exactly the kind of foundation I was looking for. One downside is it doesn't have a pump. Now, if you have dry skin like me, apply a nice moisturizer underneath. If you have normal skin, I would just apply a moisturizer, let that set. Maybe even do a primer, but I would definitely powder it, no matter what you do. Dry skin, you might want to powder it depending on how thick your moisturizer is. And oily skin, you definitely want to powder it. Probably use a thick matte powder. I sadly cannot tell you about the powder that comes with this foundation, but I would imagine that Rimmel Stay Matte or something heavy duty to absorb those oils would be best for you. Anywho, let's check out my pores. It looks, wow. It looks exactly the same. Like, you can see my pores, obviously, but they're definitely not enlarged. You can just really see my skin through this foundation. Yeah, so it doesn't settle in pores, guys, or at least not my pores. I do have some big ones right here, but I have been using a serum on them, so they do look a lot better. Let's see my wrinkle. It doesn't settle in my hair. Because you know how you have those fine hairs on your face? You don't want them to settle in there. Didn't settle in this hair. A little bit right here. This section's looking a little funky. Overall, it's an amazing foundation, and I would suggest that you run out to Target to get it for $8. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do stick with my original 10 out of 10 rating, and you have yourself a beautiful day. Bye.